Yo, everyone. I'm going to talk a little about the concept of the death of the author by a French poststructuralist, Roland Barthes. Okay, so there are methods and ways to analyze or find meaning out of a literary work, right? We can understand the topic or main idea in a novel, for instance. So, about what are the meanings of the symbols contained or exist in a novel. Another thing is about who do the characters represent and so on. Usually, we can answer these questions by connecting it to the author, such as historical, social, and biographical background. Some people even have the luck and privilege to meet the author and ask him or her directly. However, Roland Barthes, a French poststructuralist, wrote in his essay entitled The Death of the Author in 1968 that there is no relation between the text, in this case is the literary work, right, and its author. He explained that the literary interpretation in a single method only by relating it to the author is actually limiting the analysis. To liberate, right, the text from the author is by separating the text from the author so that there will be more perspectives and rich interpretation. In this case, the author is basically is considered dead. Now the problem is, why do we have to separate, right, a text from its author? Isn't it obvious that an author consciously or unconsciously reflect his or her intention in the literary work? So the meaning of a text is supposed to be based on the author's mind and intention or experience, right? But it's not according to Roland Barthes. A text is just a compilation of quotations, right? Just sentences, quotations, right? Phrases. It means that the author is simply taking a role as scripture, a person who made the script, right? Who makes the script. He or she writes everything that have already existed in the world, such as cultures and then habits and then religions. I'll give you an example. Harry Potter is a pure fictitious character, not the real person. Even though perhaps J.K. Rowling herself was influenced by a real person. But how come then? Well, because the readers have their own experiences, which are somehow reflected in the story, the setting, or the characters. All of us, right, the readers and the author, share these experiences and ideas toward the world and universe. Harry Potter becomes Harry Potter in our own understanding, not the author. Maybe J.K. Rowling created the characters like Ron, Hermione, Harry Potter, right? But it should be based on the real life that we, all of us, share. Because Harry has eyes and hair and body. He talks, So the readers also share the same experience, the same understanding, the same knowledge, right? Harry Potter in J.K. Rowling's mind is also a reflection of our own Harry Potter in our own mind. All right. So, which is reflected in our real life. But it doesn't mean that an author is 100% neglected, right? For his or her greatness, for making such a great story, right? The problem is he or she simply doesn't have a full authority within his or her own text. So Harry Potter lives by himself in the story. So Harry Potter does not belong to J.K. Rowling only, because Harry Potter again reflects the real person in our life, whether the author or the reader. Okay. So the point is that the post-structuralist view on the liberty of a text, the freedom of a text, is similar to another school, right, of criticism. We call it as new criticism and reader response criticism. The difference is that in new criticism, the readers are not only excluding the author from the text analysis, but also all external elements. It means any elements outside literary work. I give you an example. If the story is about England in the 17th century, for example, right, there is no connection with the real history of England in that era. That's according to the criticism. So if the novel talks about the history or the life of a real person, even the life of a real person, there's no connection between the real person in the novel to the real history or the real person in the real life. So new criticism really excludes all the external elements. So the text is for the text itself. So the analysis is purely focused inside the text. While in reader response criticism, the meaning of a text is very dependent on the reader, right? And the reader's views. So it is very subjective by referring to the reader's personal experience instead of the common or shared experience from the reader to the author. So for the reader response criticism, it can be really subjective. So if there are 10 readers, there will be 10 different analysis. Okay, I think that's enough for the post-structuralism point of view in analyzing the literary work using the concept of what we call as the death of the author. See you.